I'm back. All right, let's go with this. All right, I got water, so I can do this. I can't believe it. It's been 6 months since I was last allowed to work in court. Hey, your great grandson, I believe it's 3 grades. It's like in the 1800s, I think. Great, or it's like 3 or 4 grades, but it's like your great grandson will not be able to work for 7 years. So quit complaining. And now here I am, back at the Old Bailey. I don't even remember what voice I gave you. Ah, Mr. Naruhodo. Good morning, Professor Hairbrain. Right, his name is Hairbrain. Oh, I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. The atmospheric pressure in here is off the charts. I've never felt anything like it. It's crushing me. With how thick your skull is, I don't think it will be that hard. It will be a lot hard to crush you. I feel it every time I'm here. That gravity. Let me make sure the audio. It seems like this one's really quiet. No, it's good. It's just my ear. Well, this is Britain's highest court. But are you telling me it's fitted with some kind of device that can actually control air pressure? I think it's probably all in the mind. Ah, yes, well, you won't let me down, will you, Mr. Naruhodo? I'll let you down. I'll let you down. I'll let you down. I'm gonna let this guy die and be prosecuted by his best buddy. Because I am that kind of person. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna desert you. I'm counting on you in today's trial to save my life. Don't worry, Mr. Hairbrain. James is a fantastic defense attorney. He will protect you, right, James?
Sure thing, boss.
All right, James. What's the first rule about defense?
They say a good defense is a good offense.
Justin, is that the first rule? Is that a good first rule?
And be aggressive, and they won't.
I think he's ready. Accuse the witness? No, that's a terrible. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Yeah, it's being aggressive. It's not like believing your clients or bluff your way out. It's be aggressive. To save the secret of my super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine from being made public. Yes, I understand. I know what I have to do. I have to establish that the explosion 2 days ago was nothing more than an unfortunate accident. Well, I'm sure there's nothing to worry about. Really, justice will prevail. Commiseration. Why does this game have big words? I want simplified baby words. Put it back in like katakana. And keep it at katakana. My commiserations, Mr. Naruhodo. You appear to have been lumbered with the most tiresome case here. Guessing that's... Yep, I knew it. Mr. Sholmes! I didn't expect to see you here. That's very mean, Runo. Leaving me alone at home with Hurley. Well, a child shouldn't be left alone outside of adult supervision without, unless it's at home. So, your child. Commiseration. I guess that's how you say it. Sympathy and sorrow for the misfortune of others, compassion, and the other actors offered him clumsy commiseration. Got it. It took me at least an hour to wake him. Oh, is it? Are you? Herlock Sholmes! Indeed, sir, I am he, Herlock Sholmes. Oh, I've heard all about your exploits, even whilst living in Germany. Alright, he's German. How do I speak in a German accent? Von! What do you want? I'm really bad at accents, so I can't really do it. Ah yes, Rand's magazine is on sale in Germany too. This month's installment was sublime. Your deduction in the adventure of Silver Blaze was wonderful. Ah yes, a memorable case indeed. It concerned a snake, I seem to recall. No, that was the Speckled Band. Well, thank you for coming. Oh wait, that's not Herlock. Well, thank you for coming. I do appreciate your support. I'm sorry to disappoint you, my dear fellow, but I'm afraid I can't stay. Oh? I have urgent business at Madame Tuspel's. I forgot that he's technically doing a was doing a side gig. Calls up Janine. Should do today's new Wordle. I'm curious if he can get it. Calls up Janine. I mean, is she up right now? You know, I'm gonna text her right now and see if she's up right now. Gotta get that bread. Let's see. Let me text Janine right now. If she joins the call, you know why. I have urgent business at Madame Tuspel's. You mean your waxwork job? No, the waxwork abduction, of course. Madame has engaged my services. Ah, so you're trying to get the bottom of that ransom note, are you? The week's wages depend on it, as does the safe return of the waxwork, naturally. As such, I intend to give it my undivided attention. Oh, well, never mind then. I understand. Well, to be honest, money is pretty urgent in a lot of cases. Oh, of course, with my skills of observation and reasoning, resolving the matter will be as easy as proverbial pie. I shall return forthwith. For until I solve the case, I shall have no money to afford a pie of any description. Janine texted, yeah, she's up. Oh, then you must absolutely give it your full attention, Harley. Quite, Iris, quite. But life is riddled with irony, you know. Heh. Whenever I give something my full attention, I have to have a quite insatiable desire for a pie. Get pizza. One of the universe's intractable mysteries, you might say. Oh yes, quite definitely, absolutely. I totally understand. Is someone a little starstruck? I wish you the very best, Professor Hairbrain. Thank you. Before I depart, Mr. Naruto, a word in your ear, if you please. What's this about? Hey, that's more than one word. You lie. As you have remarkably little remarkably little grounding in science, I feel I ought to inform you. As compelling as the super high voltage instantaneous kinesis hypothesis may be, a practical implementation such as was attempted by the professor of the Great Exposition is quite impossible. But the professor said the demonstration was a success. Zingo! James! Get on it. You're a mod. Zingo, how you doing? Shout out the Zingo. Zingo! How you been doing, buddy? It's been a while. How you been? How is your... Oh, are you still doing the Kingdom Hearts level 1 run? Holler. So brain cook. I assume. I hope it wasn't too bad though. I hope Kingdom Hearts hasn't been like kicking your butt over and over. Oh, I finished that like I had that blasting in my ear. I forgot I had this going. Finished like 2 weeks ago. I did Spyrun and I'm starting to learn Kingdom Hearts to any percent. Oh, are you trying to speedrun that now too? How's your Spiral run been going? Like, has it been getting better? I've seen you play I haven't seen you play it a lot. Well, I have been busy on my end, but I don't know how much better you've been. I've been I've had good runs, but I haven't got a PB in a while. Ooh, hate that feeling. Hey, I hope at the very least you've been doing well and all that. Had a good Halloween too as well too. It's almost the end of the year, so I hope you're looking forward to next 2025 / anything upcoming like Black Friday, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. I'm very close to something big though. Oh, dude, looking forward to it. Hope you tell me about it. I hope I can catch it too. So yeah, take it easy, man. Get some rest too. Yes, it would appear that he fervently believes it was. I've read the Professor Bunnybrain's paper about it too, Runo, and I have to say, I'm sure it can't be done. It could barely be done theoretically, let alone practically. So he's completely barking up the wrong tree? But how could an experiment that had no possibility of succeeding in fact succeed? That's contradictory. And it's that contradiction that will be at the heart of the trial. I've no doubt. What's that supposed to mean? Now, I must hurry along. I wish you the best of luck, my dear fellow. Thank you. I hope your holidays go well. I watched a Wild Robot. Oh, dude, I want to watch that soon. Oh, hi, Janine.
I'm not even totally sure who I should say summoned me, but hello, here I am. It's been a bit.
Yeah, I have weird accents. It's not great. So, yeah, you can judge. I want to watch Wild Robot as well at some point. I'm waiting for it to get a little cheaper. I actually watched Transformers 1 not too long ago, and I'm excited to watch Dragon Ball Daima dub in the theaters because voice actress of original Goku, Kid Goku, is coming back, and I'm really excited for nostalgia for that. Anyway, hi Janine.
I watched Wild Robot the other weekend.
Nice. My brother said it's really good.
I mean, I like the animation, but for me, the story was a bit erratic for my tastes.
Do recommend movie. I'm gonna watch the movie. I'm just waiting for it to get a little cheaper. By the way, Janine, how you been doing?
Honestly, a little sick. So if I sound a little stuffed up, that's why.
Is it?
But otherwise, we're doing good.
You weren't sick. You weren't sick. When we last met for Halloween, so it must have been recent, right?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I think there's just a cold, and I work with kids, so.
I did get my flu shot and COVID shot, and yesterday.
Yay.
Luckily, I haven't been any symptoms, so really, honestly, I've been really fine.
Mine took me out. Like I got like full on fever and had to call in sick when I got my shots.
Yeah, that's why I took it on Fridays just in case, so I only have like Saturdays off, like off day versus like Sunday or like a Monday or work day. I have to waste the PTO sick time to do kind of thing.
Yeah, which isn't always fun.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, I've been good. Life's being life.
That's good.
I have to say though, I want to point this out. Usually when somebody asks, hey, are you still awake at any point in time after midnight?
Yeah.
It's usually like an emergency, not, hey, can you judge me on my German accent?
I mean, okay. I mean,
dude.
okay, to be fair, yes, how things go. Yes, I'm sorry if I made you panic, but I just wanted to be
It
weird.
was a very you kind of it was a very you kind of message.
Okay, to be honest though, I figured you were up. I just wanted to know if you're awake enough to do like a. Okay, you know enough of us that who would be up at past midnight. I know you know.
Yeah, I just feel called out. That's why I'm lashing out. Work it okay? It's not working, but I am working on it.
I'm working on it too, and I'm still going to bed at like 4 sometimes.
I'm not that bad anymore. Most nights.
Still trying to fix that.
God.
See you later, Hurley. Yeah, this game just has me voice a lot of characters. It actually doesn't have voice acting, and it has a lot of dialogue. And one of them is called Dr. Hairbrain, who's from Germany.
Oh God, okay.
Which I can't really do a German accent, so I'm just going with a generic English, high-pitched, squeal, whatever voice. I can't even do a good German accent. It's like, I have to do like, I
mean, I appreciate that you're not going for the weirdly, slightly Russian-sounding German accent.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the only thing I could go for in German accent is like, what do you want, or something like that, or I don't know. I haven't heard enough German to make a good like interpretation on my end.
I think I can do like passable accents unless I'm tired, in which case I just kind of devolves into whatever.
Yep. Pretty much. Well, it looks like you're on your own today, Runo. But chin up, you can do it. Oh, what about you, Iris? Oh no, I'm afraid I can't help. I have something I need to do. I see. Hee. It's going to be a big surprise for you when you find out what it is. Ha, that sounds ominous. Counsel for the defense and defendant. Court is about to be in session. Make your way into the courtroom at once. We're on our way. I don't even know if you get to see the character before you go back to bed, Janine, because he sometimes talks, butts out, but now we're going into the courtroom, and so he may not even show up until after you leave.
You know, we'll see. We'll see.
An experiment that the laws of science can't possibly succeed, and a scientist who's convinced that it did. That's the riddle you have to unlock here, Ryunosuke. That's the key to this case. Bleh. I'm burp. Let's find out, who do I talk with?
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We say here today on the public trial for Professor Albert Hairbrain.
That's a very German name, by the way, Janine, right? Albert Hairbrain. Very German.
I guess Albert is a fucking German name. Like, yeah.
Is Albert like a very generic? I mean, there's like Albert Einstein, yeah, but is it very generic?
I don't know if it's that generic, but like, I wouldn't bat an eye if I met a German guy named Albert. I
Well,
doubt.
I mean, at least they
pronunciation.
at least
The
they
last
have.
name, though, I'm not totally sure. That has too many letters that aren't being pronounced for it to be German.
Well, to be fair though, this is Ace Attorney, where they like to have pun names every once in a while, and at the very least, they have half the name right to be German.
It's true. Yeah.
I now call upon the counsel for the prosecution and defense to declare the willingness to proceed.
The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready, my lord. I'm 6 months out of practice, and what's more, I'm without Susato-san today. Ugh, is it just my imagination, or does the air in here feel more oppressive than usual?
So, I must say I recollect the victim of this case all too well, Mr. Audie Osmond.
Mr. Osmond was well known as a financer, though that was merely a front for his diverse criminal activities. It was
Only a month ago that the man appeared in court, prosecuted by you, Lord Van-Six. But the jury unanimously found him not guilty.
because every member of the jury had been bribed by the sound of it. These powerful London criminals are prepared to go to extreme lengths to keep their freedom.
But 2 days ago, on 21st of October, Mr. Osmond met his end. The work of the Reaper, was it?
Why did he suddenly sound like Yoda?
Hey, Reaper, are you not?
God.
Hairbrain, Albert he is.
If that is how your lordship would describe divine retribution. But the fact remains that Mr. Asmund's death was a direct result of the actions of the accused Professor Hairbrain.
Very well then. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have been selected at random to represent the will of the people. Are the 6 of you ready to fulfill your societal duty?
Oh my god, that guy has such a chiseled chin. Oh my god, he looks like a chiseled Abraham Lincoln.
Is that chiseled or is that just a Lego piece?
Honestly, he could be both. Chiseled Lego piece. Because he has that double chin.
His head is just like a cylinder.
Yeah, I was like looking at that too, yeah.
I'm most gratified to have been selected to carry this important civic duty, my lord.
To have a man's fate in the palm of one's hand. Oh gosh, oh golly, it sends shivers down my spine. I honestly imagine her like Lissa, where she's elegant on the outside, but really sinister on the inside. She likes to murder people.
Hey, being elegant does not mean that you can't be sinister at the same time, and vice versa. You can be very sinister and very elegant at the same time.
Well, That's true, but also it's also like very generic how like in like many shows how there's like the most elegant and most like innocent looking person tends to be the most villainous.
That's true.
It's a very generic trope.
It's because nobody would suspect, except for everybody who's ever seen that trope.
Which one?
The trope of somebody being innocent, looking all innocent, but actually being very murderous.
Yeah, true. The science experiments, magic conjuring tricks, courtroom trials are all nothing more than performances. That guy has a really
How
exuberant.
are they getting these judges or jurors? Sorry.
It's London. So apparently London has a very diverse set of people.
But
This is also back in the
they're showing up
1800s, so yeah.
Any spurious scholar that defiles the reputation of science deserves to hang.
Is that guy supposed to be like a war veteran, but in science? Because of all those medals?
He could be like
Why
a
does she
decorated
have
researcher.
corn? She's just not even biting it properly in that animation.
She has multiple husks of corn. She is grabbing those from her lap, so I can only assume that there is a pile of cooked corn on her lap,
Oh, you haven't seen
and that nobody questioned why she brought that into like the court.
No one questions bringing like a whip or gun or sword or any of the like very illegal stuff into a courtroom. Corn is like the least.
The guy before had like a flask with some random red liquid in it, so
It's
like
Kool-Aid, don't you know? It's also the fact that she may have infinite corn, but there's a detective in this game that has infinite fish and chips. I'm like, I will have that ability and I will eat fish and chips for the rest of my life. I'll probably get fat, but still.
Oh my god. I don't know if there's words for that. Like, I mean, go off, I guess.
Hey, fish and chips are really tasty as long as they're cooked right.
I'm not judging you on the fish and chips. I'm really not.
Oh, yeah.
I am in agreement on that.
How much corn has this child consumed?
I think we're at like piece number 7 or 10.
No, it has to be like 15 by now. Isn't corn like a good type of food to make you go potty? Like actually?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Also, second
How
question,
nutritionist.
why is there a child on the jury?
Actually, yeah, isn't there supposed to be like an age limit to be on the jurors?
Yeah, usually.
Well, this is the 1800s, so a lot
Maybe
of
she
rules.
just looks youthful.
This, yeah, that's true. It looks well. Well,
Yeah, looks like a child. It'd be hard to convince me that that's an adult.
I mean, there's very dwarf adults, so. We have to listen to what he said on both sides, the fence, and then settle on one. That's it, isn't it? And she sounds like a child. Oh, it's that policeman who was at the wax museum, who was sleeping. It wasn't like this in my day. Wasn't like this at all. That's the police killer Altermole look like again. And he's as exhausted as ever, it seems. I don't think having a policeman on the juror is a good idea. But then again, I don't know jury duties. Hi, Mike.
I don't think that's ever a good idea.
Mm,
Wouldn't they have like laws to prevent that or something?
probably in America in modern day times, but not back in the day in 1800s in London, apparently. Again, this is Ace Attorney, so.
Let me guess, are they still using them old freaking blue police boxes?
Yeah.
Now, as I
Okay, so police officers are exempt from jury duty.
Yeah.
As well as firefighters.
You know what? That makes sense. They work with the law, so they have different opinions and they know laws.
Also, you do, at least in the US, have to be at least 18 years old to be on the jury.
So do you think that child is 18 years of age?
Really young looking 18-year-old, if that's the case.
Hey,
Yeah. Hmm?
he could be suffering from dwarfism. You don't know.
It's she, but yes.
As I'm sure you're all aware, the incident we are here to judge today tragically took place at the Great Exposition shortly after its opening.
Who is this person? The judge. This is also the prosecutor I'm fighting. Also, hi, Spicy Toast. How you doing? I hope you've been doing well. Welcome to Ace Attorney, where I'll be voicing all characters. Though the death toll...
Being judged for them.
Yep. Though the death toll could have been far worse with the exception of the victim, no one was killed. Surprisingly, there was so basically, to give context for people, I barely remember a lot of it. So pretty much this court case is happening. There was a great exposition. It's kind of like a showcase carnival type event. One of the biggest showcases was the scientist, Mr. Albert Hairbrain, that's his literal name, who's German, who came from Germany just recently and gave like a teleportation experimental device. He was supported by this Audie Osman, who is a very good financer, who supported his whole thing, but it is told to us in the sense, not in public information, but we found out that he's more of a bad criminal who uses a lot of money to get a lot of his way, so he used it as a forefront to do criminal activity kind of thing. He died because of the experiment and it exploded right where the professor was around, so somehow the professor did not get a single scratch with all the metals and stuff around. So pretty much that experiment, in a sense, essentially killed him, but supposedly it was also a success because his body was found at the tower right next to where he was supposed to teleport. So it was one of those, like, it's a weird contradiction thing that they say at the current time that theory is impossible to do. So yeah, that's kind of the court case at the current moment. Also, we have a lot of different secrets that have been going on, but I skipped over those because they're currently not important. Nevertheless, the dream of the science being exhibited rapidly turned into a nightmare for the spectators.
A tragic turn of events, and as such, the eyes of all London, no, the whole world will be on this trial. It is our duty to reach a swift, just conclusion, I feel.
So, yeah, basically, the German scientist is going to get prosecuted for killing a guy, and yeah, and Germany's gonna be to blame.
It is our duty to reach a swift and just conclusion, I feel. So, your opening statement, please, Lord Francis.
At the heart of this incident is technology never before demonstrated in the world. No more lick, I become healthy person. This one, the one you was playing long ago. Yeah, something like that. I've been playing this game for a while. Also, why do you have no lick? Oh, Poir. Oh, that's sad, Poir. Yeah, I've been playing this for a while. I think I started this. I haven't noted. I started the first game of this collection back in 2021. And I started the second game last year, back in September. So it's been this whole collection / game has been going on for a while.
One of the scientists' latest developments, I take it. The government is keen on to capitalize the Great Exposition to improve Britain's technological advantage.
The technology being demonstrated by the accused was described as super high voltage instantaneous kinesis. Yeah, I remember you playing something like this. It is again one of the series I've been on for a while. What the heck is that, Mike? It's another Blankies. I didn't realize Blanky was popular.
Good lord!
It's designed to disassemble human subjects using extremely high voltage electricity and beam them instantly to another location where you're subsequently reassembled. Would you guys like to be disassembled and reassembled in another location? Raise your hand and say aye.
No, thank you. I like my parts attached to myself.
I'm sorry, but I think I've learned enough from Doom. Thank you very much.
I don't know if I'm ready to try to address the existential question of if my body gets disassembled and reassembled somewhere else, is it still me?
Is it technically like if you get disassembled, does that mean you die and get reassembled, you be reborn again?
See, that's the kind of question that I'm not ready to try to figure out.
To be or not to be? That is the question.
What? Oh my god.
Regret
Shit
you.
problem.
Regret you join. Don't you, Janine?
Always, every single time.
I make her question her friendship with me every single time we talk.
God, why am I here again? What was I doing?
We'll see if we get to see the German guy, and I will do a very bad German accent.
Oh god, right. That's what I joined for, right. One of these days I'll question my sanity.
Probably when you're like 89 years old, and then you'd be like, why am I doing this to myself? My brain cells. I have lost my last brain cell.
I'm
that a
pretty
long
sure I will.
time ago.
Right? I was like, I'm pretty sure I've lost that a long time ago.
Now the question is, did you lose your brain cell because of school or because of me?
You know, I love that you're taking responsibility.
I've had that loss since 2015. Please.
Oh my god. When was I born again?
90 something.
That sounds about right.
No, she was born in like James, 1900.
Oh, that makes me sound really fucking old.
Oh, James is Tomodachi.
No, I'm sticking with it. I was born in the 1900s. We're going with it. This is
I know vampires, okay?
no more
Right.
specifications.
James was born in 1900 because apparently that's what his me said. But he's over 100 years old.
He was like 100 years old, and at one point was considered the fittest man on the Mee Island.
Fittest me, and also I think the sexiest to me.
Oh god.
People want that 100 booty booty.
Gotta chase it forever.
Is such thing even within the realms of possibility?
I do not believe it. That's for sure. Disassembling people with electricity? My goodness, how shocking.
The whole idea is absurd. The hypothesis could never stand up to scrutiny. Sir, I believe you're a fellow Royal Society, are you not? An expert in your field? I am, and my word on the matter, it cannot be considered final. Instantaneous kinesis is poppycock.
So, this expert and Mr. Sholmes are in agreement. It's impossible.
What is the prosecution's view on the matter?
The prosecution would assert that the accused instantaneous kinesis demonstration was a success. What? What? Okay, he held a flask that exploded. That's dangerous.
Do you think that they like encourage all of their jury members to come in with like a very clear they're like, yeah, we can't tell you guys apart if you guys don't bring in like some sort of like really clear object.
Toast, did you just gift me DD gift sub? I thank you. You did not have to do that.
This was approximately 1800, so
Yeah, something
them
right there.
even for like chemistry wise, I think I think if I'm not mistaken, flasks wouldn't even be used around that time. It was more of an experimental phase with the flasks.
There was a lot of like experiments during the days, yeah. So let me what was the Great Ace Attorney's set in? The Great Ace Attorney set a year. What does the Great Ace Attorney take place? England update. So Seki is a real. He traveled in England in 19. Okay, so this is 1900. Literally in 1900. Hey, James, Janine, you guys were born.
Okay. Sweet.
Oh my god. Yeah, don't you see me in the back row? Like, I'm sitting there.
No, you were a literal baby.
Yeah, there's a child on this jury. You really think that it would be so weird if an infant was, like, somehow in this courtroom?
Yeah.
You draw the line at babies.
Yeah. I draw. Everything else makes sense. Babies does not make any sense.
Oh god.
Order.
I got two number 9s, number 9 large. The professor hypothesis is currently under investigation by the British government. If it is deemed to have merit, a substantial research grant would be made available. The accused made use of the invention built on his new hypothesis to take Mr. Osman's life, in order to be the sole benefactor of the grant. But, I mean, it would make sense. This disastrous demonstration was no accident. It was carefully designed for the outset to end the life of the victim. But you said it was a success. Oh, I guess you said a success in that regard where he murdered.
Thank you, Lord Van Zeeks. The prosecution's stance is clear. But you will now bring forth a witness to substantiate your claims.
Gladly, my lord. Bailiff, show the fourth witness to the stand. Too bad we're not getting to the defense. Oh, there he is. Janine gets to hear it. Witnesses, state your name and occupations for the court. Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector of Scotland Yard's Homicide Division. I was on duty for the demonstration on the day in question and in charge of following the investigation. Albert Hairbrain, scientist. I'm giving him like such a high-pitched voice. I really do not know how to do a German accent.
It wasn't even accented, my dude.
I don't know how to do a German accent. What do you want? What?
Oh my god.
That's the best I could do. You were born in England, but you've been carrying out research in German in recent years, correct? Yeah, yes, that's right. I don't know.
Slowly dying inside, it's okay.
After graduating from university here in Britain, I went to work in Germany and made an amazing discovery. Which is brought me back. I had to demonstrate my incredible hypothesis at the Great Exhibition. Okay, to be honest though, he was born in Britain, so he's not fully German. He just lived in Germany.
Okay, so then he's just pushing British.
I forgot that he was born in Britain. I completely forgot. It's been a while since I last played this game. But he could learn a German accent.
For what? To be cool at school? Like,
Some people do.
okay, that's yeah, fair enough.
I'm just saying it is one of those like people do accents just to be like recognized in school. I like how Justin heard the I'm slowly dying inside. It's fine. What you demonstrated was incredible, alright. An incredible explosion! But science! The science was a success! The instantaneous kinesis worked! Everyone saw it! They must have done! Yes, there was a terrible accident, but the demonstration of my hypothesis was a success! Well, that much is undeniable. As shown in this photograph taken by the forensic investigations team. This was taken inside the crystal. Oh, wait, that's a judge.
This was taken inside the Crystal Tower, I take it. The centerpiece of the exhibition, no plus.
That's right, my lord. Seems the victim rammed straight into it.
I see. Very well. Submit the photograph for evidence.
It's not a British accent. It's also not a British accent. Like, I can do a British accent. James could do a better British accent. Of course.
Fair enough.
This guy is more Scottish than anything anyway.
Oh no, I was talking about the science that we realized is probably British.
That's why I give him a high-pitched, generic, high-pitched voice.
God.
As the court heard, the victim of the incident was Mr. Audie Osman. There has been a number of allegations made against the man, but putting him aside for the time being. He was a man who financed the research for the experiment on and demonstration itself. To be honest, though, when people do like random accents, they do give them unique like ways to read them. So you can kind of tell who has an accent, who doesn't have an accent, in a sense.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
To summarize the situation, the defense is accused of taking the life of the man who funded his work. Would that be correct?
Exactly. That guy has infinite fish and chips. I want it.
Oh my God. Wait, which guy?
The guy, Detective Gregson.
Oh my God.
He has infinite fish and chips. We must get those fish and chips.
Okay, that would be a good question though. If you had like an infinite supply of one food that would just like appear on your lap, what food would it be?
Okay, would it be one type of food? So like you can put a dish of some kind? Or would it be like only like an ingredient or like one simple food like a potato, a carrot, or like rice?
Same rules as these guys, right? So like the one dude has like fish and chips and the other one has like corn on the cob.
So it would be like any dish kind of thing in a sense. Or
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, fried rice for me. Fried rice or bibimbap. Those are like always good. If I can just have like one dish, always those will always be my go-to. Good amount of like whatever you put on it, and veggies and all that stuff. But I would have a lot of
That is
starch.
like a little bit of a health thing.
Yeah, but it's also like it'll have a lot of stuff, but it will taste good.
True. True.
If we ignore all health problems and you just eat infinite amount of problems like that, and you get full up after eating like however amount, then it really wouldn't matter in a sense. You just.
I mean, I'm not saying that the thing that appears in your lap is the only thing you get to eat for the rest of your life. That's just like we'll just always have that food like showing up on your lap. Like you could eat it at any point.
If it was a dish, if it was something that I could put in my hand really quickly or something like that, I probably should put like fries. Fish and chips would be easy, but instead of going with him, I would just put like fries. Honestly, fries will always.
I love that you gave up on the fish. You're like, nah, just the fries. Just the
fries are
chips.
good. There's also like tater tots.
They are.
Tater tots or fries would be like always my go-to, like quick snack, fast food kind of thing.
That's a mood. That's a mood. I feel like I get bored of tater tots a lot faster than I do of fries, which is weird, but you know.
I mean, I can see that, honestly. It heavily depends on... I mean, here's the thing. A good tater tot lasts a lot longer than a fry, in my opinion. It's like... Because, like, no matter what the size of the fries, I haven't got, like, a really... Like, because the crisp of the fries, they lose their crisp really fast. But tater tots, they stay crispy for a while.
That's true. That's true.
So honestly, I would be like, I'd rather have tater tots more than fries in a lot of cases because they have a lot more crunch on them. Especially if I can have like a bunch of a giant bucket of them.
Instead of a KFC bucket with like KFC chicken or whatever, just a bucket of tater tots.
First major court tangent: tater tots versus fries. I mean, it's a good tangent. I mean, come on. Tater tots and fries. Which would you prefer?
Oh my god.
James, what would you prefer? Tater tots or fries?
I like tater tots, they're crispy.
See, James and I are team tater tots. Janine's on team fries. Where's Justin?
More place to shut you there. Fair enough, Justin.
Honest. The only tater tots I have like are cheap and like are really good are Taco Time around us. Like
Taco Time has tater tots?
yeah, they're technically like they call them fries, but they're like a McDonald's equivalent of fries where it's like the side thing. I'm also probably team tater. No, like yeah, their tater tots are good. If you ever go nearby a Taco Time, you should try their tater tots.
I don't really get Taco Time, so
They're the better version of Taco Bell.
I don't get Taco Bell either.
Okay, you know what? That's fair.
Slowly murdering. I think I slowly murdered Nick. I'm sorry.
Well, to be fair though, you murder. I murder you with
Oh god, with whatever that
accents.
was earlier.
Yeah, accents. But couldn't it be that the explosion was caused by some malfunction in the apparatus used for the demonstration? That's right! That must be it! My splendid machine! My poor splendid machine! You saw it. You saw it yesterday, didn't you? We can't even examine the wreckage thanks to the Special Disposition for Scientific Equipment Act, or SITSI for short. What? Nani? The wreckage? The wreckage? Why does he have to put a face like that all the time?
But that being the case, how the facts be established? How can it possibly be determined whether this was an accident or deliberate and malicious act?
Extremely simply, my lord.
I beg your pardon?
Isn't that right, witness? What? Sorry? Me? No, your neighbor. Yes, it was murder, plain and simple. Anyone could state that with complete certainty. What? How can he possibly think that?
Thank you, Inspector. I think we had a proper proceed to formal testimony. You will explain to the court on the grounds you claim this is meant to have been a front of murder.
Witness's testimony. The corpse went crashing through the crystal towel, had a broken neck. I made a minor calculation. The angle of the beam projection, that's all. That was my mistake. But the post-mortem examination revealed another injury, a fatal wound. That was a lesion?
A lesion.
Lesion?
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's spelled?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
In his just.
Man, you're absolutely strangling those fries.
Hey,
No,
they're infinite, so he can always get other crispy ones.
he's murdering them.
In his chest where he's clearly been stabbed by something sharp in the heart. So the victim was killed before he went anywhere, and this fellow, the only one who could have done it. Lesion. Noun, mainly medicine. Abrasion in an organ or tissue which has suffered damage through injury or disease, such as a wound, ulcer, abscess, or tumor.
Did you not know what a lesion was?
I mean, I know legion,
Okay.
but that's it. I don't know a lot of words that this game provides. English is not my forte. I'm a computer scientist. English is never my forte.
Oh god, fair enough, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
An extraordinary business. In addition to suffering a broken neck, the victim was stabbed in the heart.
Information I would really like to have heard from someone other than the judge. The coroner says the death could be all but instant from a wound like that. We could say, in fact, that the victim was killed twice by the accused. No! That couldn't be further from the truth. I have it here, an experiment plan document that was submitted to the security team. The victim stood here inside something called the bird cage, ready to be beamed instantly. To the second level of the crystal tower, about 25 yards away. The experiment did not go according to plan. However, as the machine was put into operation, there was a large explosion. The blast caused the beam transmitter to point higher than intended. Accordingly, the kinesis resulted in the birdcage materializing in mid-air. And where it subsequently, I can't read that, fell, crashing through the glass of the crystal tower's large round window.
Why would? One assumes the victim's neck was broken upon impact to tower then?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean this for to happen. The machine was just too powerful. But honestly, really, I swear, it was an accident. A terrible accident. Unfortunately, the excuse can't save you. No, considering the sharp murder weapon that pierced the victim's heart. A murder weapon? What are you saying? This is the autopsy report submitted by the coroner. The prosecution would like to enter to the courtroom record. Ah, cool. Another thing I don't get early. No, Janine, you don't. You knowing the word means that you know it well because of Lissa, from all the murders you've been doing.
Oh my god.
Is it not true? Doesn't this not entertain you?
I will neither confirm nor deny. We are in a court of law. I do not want to, what the fudge is it called, indict myself?
You can't plead the fifth, which is not, because this is not America, this is London.
Oh shoot! Wait, let me Google this. Let me see if I can figure out if there's a.
Your request is granted, Consul.
Must be has been reported in court record. Let's see.
I was there in person, you know. I saw the lewd requests and permits. The only other person on stage was Mr. Thompson. I was great for excuse for a scientist.
Why does his mouth and head movement just does not look right? Then really, by all accounts, it must have been him.
Hard to think. Who was really? You are counsel for the defense. Proceed with the cross-examination, please.
Oh, yes. My lord. I need to focus here. It's been a while. Have you found anything of it, Janine?
So it looks like the British court system also has a thing about how you were allowed to decline to testify in court. It's not called pleading the fifth, and they don't have anything that's as catchy as like pleading the fifth. But it's the right to remain silent is also existent in Britain.
I mean, that makes sense, but yeah. I'll plead the fifth. It's such a meme now.
It really is. It also apparently has actually no like it's not a legal term. Saying I plead the fifth is not. You ain't speaking like any kind of legal words. It's not.
It's not used in court.
No, God no. It's purely pop culture.
You know what's funny is that criminals, younger criminals now will probably use that in court. Be like, I plead the fifth, judge. And they were like, what?
I mean, the judge probably understands it, but like, even then, like, that's not. The courts are weird, man.
They're weird, yes. Let's see. Oh, look, he's eating the fish and chips.
Oh my god.
Look at that. He eats it. Makes more. He eats it.
What the fudge? He like shakes it and it regenerates.
Infinite fish and chips.
Oh, the logic of this universe is so weird.
Welcome to Ace Attorney. Enjoy your stay.
Thanks. I guess happy to be here. I'm not 100% sure on that one.
I don't know. It depends. Do you like puns? Do you like random murders? Do you like sometimes illogical reasonings?
I can live with those.
Do you like bluffing until you get it right?
In video games, yes. In real life, God no.
Then you enjoy the series. I could just stare at this guy eating the fish and chips for a while.
Weirdly mesmerizing.
I was gonna say it's weirdly mesmerizing.
It's like a switchblade. He like shakes it and it pops. Sorry, I'm just gonna mute myself.
No, keep going. The only question is that where would he put that? It disappears every single time and he grabs it out. So.
Oh my god, that's what I was trying to figure out. Does he just like throw it? Because it was suddenly like not in his hand, and I was like, did he like just chuck it over his shoulder and call it God? Is there just like newspapers of fish and chips just like littered around this courtroom?
If that's the only downside, then it's like it's still pretty beneficial. You just have to pick up after yourself, otherwise you get yelled at.
Oh fudge, and the corn and the cob girl. Like, are there just like, I don't know what it's called, the center of the it's not a husk. The husk is the like outermost layer.
The core?
Yeah.
The root?
Yeah, the core. Like, are there just a bunch of like empty cores just like littered around her?
You can make a house with out of all the corn she eats.
Oh my god.
Think about it. Live in the corn and a cob house. Would you want to? No.
Oh.
So unsanitary. Yes, calculations. You don't account for like every single aspect of a person's Like anything with science, you have to calculate every single little nitty-gritty detail when it doesn't like normally matter. Like a person's clothing. Every day, people don't always think about persons wearing clothes until they don't stop wearing clothing.
What?
I like how it took you like 10 seconds to fully process what I just said.
Excuse me, what?
I ain't repeating what I said.
Probably for the best. Oh god.
Is it just because it's late night and you're sick, or is it just because you're just confused as always?
Probably a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, a little bit of column C. Also, when am I not confused when you're gaming?
Mario Kart?
You know, I really want to make a case for myself that, like, you're right. And also, yeah, we're gonna pretend. Yeah, I totally am not confused when you're playing Mario Kart. I know what's happening at all points.
Well, to be honest, Mario Kart, if you're talking about specifically the game, it's pretty simple to understand what's a racing game. When it comes to like conversations, that's separate from the game.
Okay.
That's just the conversations we have at like 3 in the morning. I still find it funny, Janine, that you made, I don't know how you made like whole Stack 8 sound like a cult rumor type thing to your other friends.
I don't. Were they them saying that I made it sound like a cult?
Oh.
It was a rumor though, and I didn't realize that it was a rumor. I was just like, this is a part of my life that I'm talking about. I didn't realize that people were like, oh god, it's the rumor Stack 8.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's so Justin, to give you a little bit of context, when we were hanging out at Janine's little party, all of us who were a part of like the Stack 8 or like Fairhaven crew did not realize that somehow Janine, like, it was not just one friend, it was like a few friends that was like, oh, so this is the Stack 8 crew that we heard so much about, or like all the rumors. And I'm just like, what did you say about us, Janine?
I don't know if this makes it better or worse, but I don't remember what it was that I said either.
Justin. I mean, we've explained a little bit of like, oh yeah, we're the Stack 8 crew. This is where the 4 AM crew it was invented, and all how some of us slept in the lobby multiple times.
You know, like, as much as you say this, I'm sure that your viewers, like the chat, also has this weird feeling of the Stack 8 crew is this weird rumored thing, right? Like,
to be honest, Luigi, one of my mods, does say like it is like I make it sound like a very special occurrence.
I love the word special in there. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it is true.
It was a great occurrence. It was just also... Okay, I want to preface this because I feel like we're saying this out into the ether and everybody's like, wow, Janine is like being like spreading rumors and talking behind people's backs or something like that. Like, no, I just have a lot of friends, and in college especially, I just like I was really busy with a lot of things, and one of the major points that I spent a lot of my time with was the Stack 8 group. And so anyone who wasn't a part of the Stack 8 group would hear about the fact that I was hanging out with my friends in the Stack 8 group, So it was like it legitimately was just that people knew about it because like it was something that took up a lot of my time. I wasn't talking poorly about people, I swear.
That's also true, yeah. I know. I mean, it was a big group, so we had a lot of things going on in that group.
Yeah. And there was always a story.
It was like every day we had a story.
You could probably count the like chill days that didn't have anything weird happening.
Honestly,
like, on
yeah.
our fingers.
Yeah, to be honest, I feel like we had so many days where we had something going on, whether it be an RA calling us out, being like, "You're being too loud, you're being too obnoxious, you can't sleep in the lobby." Where we also made jokes with the RAs of being provide, like, I think one time we even did like a red carpet type thing where they were like, "Oh yeah, they're coming through. Let's celebrate that they're coming through." We also did like the cold Wii U dance, I think, when the RAs were coming in and they just looked at us really weird.
I mean, better than the time that we got in trouble for playing Murder in the Dark.
And tried to cover the lights. And they were like, this is a safety hazard. You cannot cover these lights.
It was more the fact that we were covering the exit signs that we got us in trouble.
It was also funny that we were
And the
staying.
doors.
We were also staying in the Stack 8 lounge for so long that they asked us to be like, hey, can you guys go to a different lobby and then have others to actually join it? We actually had to get kind of kicked out of that lobby.
Yeah, and then the sirens went off because somebody didn't know how to hook up the TV in there.
They were using an HDMI. Well, no, we put in the Wii U and everything. Yeah, they literally tried to put in like the Xbox, I think, and then the police had to come, and we're like, "Oh, dude, we never got caught."
It wasn't that. I think there was like some sort of like I think the reason why we didn't get in trouble is because we didn't move it too far. Because I think there was like something on it that if you tried to like do anything that would seem like you're dismounting the TV to steal it.
I
don't think that they cared about whether or not we would hook up our gaming system.
No, I think they actually tried to unplug or do something more to it, because I think I remember turning it like more at an angle just to get to the back more. It was definitely like we managed to get like into the plugs and outlets of the back. I think they tried to unplug a few things though, which caused the sensors to run.
Okay. But yeah, apparently we're the problem children, but other people still the alerts.
That's also true.
Great Scott!
He says, "Great Scott." I'm only always wanted to listen to the rest of it. I still like the whole idea that Stack 8 just became this large, weird rumor thing. I think that's honestly really funny. It's like this like once in a lifetime event that we just have stories for.
It kind of was, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
we didn't really get to recapture it like the years after.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like that year. And I mean, like, we stayed friends, obviously.
Yeah, at least most of us stayed connected.
Most of us.
Yeah. Like, it had like 20 different people in the whole, like, lobby all at once. We had people come in here and there to join us, but not many of them stayed around. And after that year, it started to devolve. That whole year specifically was just a weird thing because all of us decided to be in dorms. And then after that, rest of us, some of us decided to be in dorms. Some of us decided to be in apartments only. I think,
Yeah.
Janine, you were with Lissa and you were like across from a dude apartment.
I was not actually. I was supposed to be. I
Oh,
still feel
right.
bad about this. I bailed at the last second because I did actually end up getting into the dorms.
Right, yeah.
And I still I feel this so bad. I mean, Lissa was gonna live in the apartments regardless.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that like whether or not I was gonna be there would have changed her mind.
Did you guys live with each other eventually or no? Was that a no?
No, no, I ended up living with Jamie actually that year.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, Jamie and I became roommates.
Yeah, and she told me recently how she had a ammonia.
Oh my God, the pneumonia, the walking pneumonia. Oh my
I
God.
forgot.
Sorry.
I never. I think I forgot that she had that, and I didn't realize. And she says like, yeah, I have a pneumonia. It's like, remember that 2 weeks I was gone? And it's like, yeah, I think so. And it's like, that's when I had an pneumonia.
Do you want to know what is even funnier about that time?
Oh
'Cause,
no.
again, I was her
Oh.
roommate during that time.
Oh
So like she
no.
was like sick or whatever, and
Mhm.
we were like, okay. So she goes to the health office because she's like, yeah, I haven't been feeling great,
Mhm.
Jamie style, right?
Yeah.
She comes back, and I come back, right, after like being at classes, and she has set herself up on because we had our beds bunked, and she was the top bunk. I
Oh, she
came
was the
back.
top bunk. Okay.
She was the top bunk.
Okay.
I came back. She had set her like I don't know who helped her. I don't know how it got there. She had like put her mattress onto the floor. And like spent the next like 2 weeks or however long it took to like heal from it on the floor. Not because of the walking pneumonia, but because the medicine is the thing that actually took her out. And I want to make it very clear, like I didn't even get a chance to offer her to just use the bottom bunk. Like I got home and she had already set herself up on the floor being like, yeah, it's not safe for me to like climb up and down because I am like I have such bad vertigo. Like I will just fall over. Like it took her out. Like legitimately she lived on the floor for the next 2 weeks.
You have bad vertigo, or was it Jamie that he said bad vertigo?
It was Jamie who had bad vertigo from the medication. It wasn't even from the walking pneumonia. It was the medication that took her out.
Oh my god.
Before she started taking the medication, she was still like going the way that Jamie always would. And it was so funny and also like so ridiculous. So, we love her dearly. She also overdoes a lot with her health.
Yeah, she unfortunately keeps having health problems.
Yeah.
It's both. Yeah, it's both of her. She has a really bad immune system. Well, we have said this before. She is allergic to pot. Just the smell of pot gets her. Like she has to get an EpiPen, I think, if she gets even the whiff of pot, which is really bad. Especially in Washington State.
Yeah, we used to have to, because she was part of hall council, we used to have to like basically one of us would walk with her while she put stuff up on doors just in case, just to give like an earlier warning sign of like, oh no, this hallway smells like pot. We cannot go here. Jamie, like you need to like go to a different floor.
It's funny because like our dorm, was always like out of all the years we've been there, it was always
Our
the
dorm was the worst.
it was always considered it's the biggest one, and our dorm was it's not like a building like most people would think. It is like multiple buildings. It's like an area surrounded by trees and right next to a nature not a nature preserve, but an area that is like you cannot build any buildings. It's like actual all natural kind of thing. You can walk and hike through it.
The full-on forest.
Yeah. And so it's a prime location, as people can already guess, for people to go into the woods and smoke pot. And like that's why it was like every single night we had to be careful of windows. We had to close them like because we would always almost like I honestly, just like how many days we had chill days for like Stack 8, I literally think we had like probably a handful of days where we didn't close the window because of pot.
Yeah. Dude, stop mixing chemicals on the jury bench. Sorry.
No, he changed it to yellow. Well, actually, I want to see how much
From what? All he did was add air to it.
and shake it.
Sorry. It's not.
Now it's blue.
This is not how chemistry works.
Oh, don't you know? This is how chemistry works. You put it in flax and they change color when you shake it.
God.
I've taken chemistry classes. That is legitimately how authentic chemistry is.
That's how authentic chemistry is. Oh God.
I'm a chemist.
You are not, but cool.
I've taken chemistry class. That means I'm a chemist.
I would not trust you around chemicals.
Oh, you don't know that. You haven't given me a try yet. You have to give me a try.
No, I do not. Oh my God, that just exploded.
Right next to fire, by the way.
Yeah.
That guy got so mad he threw his wine.
Negligence. Okay, one crucial possibility. A particular situation in which very little bleeding would... Ah, right. Because if you stab, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a pool of blood. Testimony, Mr. Gregson. What would you think that, Spectre? Let's see. With any wood, you need to pull... Isn't there moments where if you stab someone, they could still bleed quite a substantial amount? Like, even if you had left the weapon inside them.
Yeah, I mean, they're still definitely gonna bleed a lot, but
Yeah.
It's just not recommended to remove it until the medical personnel can.
Yeah. That's why I'm just like, it's not exactly untrue, but it's also not true. It's like, it very much depends on the situation.
Oh, I just looked at the clock. And I was like, oh, it's almost 2 o'clock. And I look away, and then I look back at the clock, and it said it's 1 o'clock. And I'm like, wait. And I'm like, oh, right.
Oh, right. It's Sunday. I was like, I remember seeing it almost 2, and I was like, and I went back, it's like, oh, it only been 1. I've only been playing this game for 1 hour? No. I've been playing the game for 2 hours, and we've been on the tangent.
Daylight savings time. This is gaslighting.
Oh, I forgot that was this weekend.
Oh no! Daylight saving time. Why does daylight saving times have to be a thing? Oh shoot! That means my dailies are different. They're at 10 o'clock now.
every gamer's worst. The worst experience for gamers.
That's mainly Justin, who has like, at this point, what, 5 gotcha dailies you have to do now?
Justin, are you really at 5 gotchas? Tangents, 2 cults in college life.
I mean, okay, to be honest, Stackgate, as we describe it, does sound like a cult. It really does, Janine.
I didn't say anything denying it.
We made a ritual around the Wii U. You
We
saw.
made a ritual around Oshawott. We also did a random fudging ritual in the fountain.
Yeah. The fountain turns off at like fall or something like that, and it's a giant middle fountain, and we decided to walk on there. I think we also got called out by the green coats, which are security people, to tell us to stop doing that.
Yeah. I feel like that says though more about how I think it was how long we did it that the green coats noticed.
I think it's more of a weirdness because like, we're not supposed to really step into the fountain, and then they walk towards us and then see like 6 people dancing around in the middle of the 4 to 6 people dancing in the middle of the fountain, while you got like 2 other people on the side being like, what the heck are they doing? And they were like, are you guys okay? Are you guys not on like acid or mushrooms or anything?
Honestly, it's more surprising that there weren't, as far as I know, rumors about us being on stuff.
And surprising that most of us actually don't even drink alcohol, let alone all of us don't even do any drugs. So it's like the fact that we performed some stuff. I'm surprised that people don't have rumors like, yeah, I hear that they're on mushrooms instead of like weed.
Honestly, for real. We were really big
Oh,
weirdos.
Mm-hmm. What'd you say, James?
I think I'm gonna go to sleep.
No, you won't.
That's probably a good idea.
No, we won't. We have 3 more hours before 4 a.m. crew. Stay.
Oh, I'm not doing 4 a.m. crew today.
You did that before. You're not doing it again.
I have done my time. I am supposedly an adult now.
When were we ever adults? We were supposed to be adults when we started college. Technically speaking, like, people consider adulthood when you start 18 or / when you go to university.
I don't know how I feel about that.
1821 is around when people would consider, like, yes, you're an adult now, kind of thing. And yeah.
Sure, I don't know if I would consider myself back then an adult.
As one of my famous quotes has said, adults are just babies in adult suits. Or adult skin suits.
I got weirder every single time you elaborated. Excuse me.
I think that's a good time for you to head out, Janine, with James.
I think I'm James, let's go head to bed from whatever that conversation was.
Catch you later. Have a good night.
Have a good night,
Thanks
you
for
two.
joining.
Thanks for joining. Bye.
Bye.
Huh, I did not know Yokai Watch has 4 co-op play, both on local and internet. Interesting. Justin, pay $600 to get a Yokai Watch and play with me. Alright, now to actually pay attention, because I was barely paying attention. Oh, let's go. I've been at this for like 2 hours, and the issue is that I barely made any progress, so we gotta go fast on this one. I like how he's on the left side, and because it's like the right side is meant for his like assistant. Broken vertebrae impact height. Okay. Victim was stabbed. With must have been left in his body while he's peeping through the air. I did check all of these at some point. The only thing I'm thinking of is because of this picture. Try it. Yeah, I figured that it's not gonna happen. That it was just more of like they took a picture of him. They could have taken it out, but yeah. It's this last statement. Weapon was stabbed. It must have been left his body while it was being in there. Let me relook at that conversation again. Why would you think that? Any way to pull out the email? So he's saying he must have stabbed before he was beamed through the air. Yeah, nothing of that stuff changes anything. This is the only assumption. He left his body while still being beamed through the air. There's nothing I can do in terms of other presents. Poking through the grill. Oh, I didn't read the full description. My bad. Say while the weapon remains in the body there's very little being. Is that the unequivocal? Is that unequivocal? Look, there was no blood on the experimentation stage, even though that's where the fellow was stopped. Only explanation for that is if the screwdriver was still in the body, stopping any heavy bleeding. It's common medical knowledge, my learned friend, even on your side of the world. Yes, but about this screwdriver. The thing is, we actually saw it scene ourselves on the experimentation stage. What? It was on the floor by the wreckage of the machine, poking through the metal grill. I went to pick it up, but the detective here stopped me. Isn't that right, Inspector Gregson?
Well, now that you're come to mention that, yes.
Inspector, are we to understand that you permitted the defense counsel to investigate? That you contravened the Special Dispensation for the Scientific Equipment Act?
No, not at all. I wouldn't do that. Oh, I just let him look, nothing more.
I was very clear that he wasn't to touch a thing. Yes, that's true. This screwdriver was in plain sight on the stage. But it shouldn't have been, should it?
What are you getting at?
This tool had been in the victim's body when the victim was beamed away by the machine. Then it shouldn't have been on the stage. It still has been on stage. Blah. It shouldn't have been still on the stage. Blah. I read it wrong. Have still been on stage. Yeah. Ah. That's right. It should have been beamed across to the Crystal Tower along with Mr. Asman. Ansem? When did the Kingdom Hearts character be in here? Justin! Kingdom Hearts is in Ace Attorney. Confirmed. The darkness. And been still lodged in the victim's chest.
Oh, no, my fish and chips.
Oh, Janine did not see the whole fish and chips disintegrating.
Order. How do you explain this, Inspector?
Don't. It looks as though everything that the victim had on his person moved with him when he was beamed. If the screwdriver was still in his chest when the instantaneous kinesis occurred, obviously that should have been beamed to the destination as well. It is a strange situation. Even though people are saying that this instantaneous kinesis is a scientific impossibility, we're still basing arguments on the assumption that it did actually take place. Alright, time to tighten the screws here. My lord, if the prosecution is unable to explain this inconsistency in its argument, we can only conclude that the testimony given in support cannot be relied upon. Lord Van Zieks is stumped. Ooh, that is a high-pitched squeal. Hold it!
Do you have something to say, witness?
Yes, I knew it! It bears out the equation hold. Mr. Naruto, don't worry. About what? Without delving into details, there is no inconsistency. What? Even if Andrew had been lodging in Mr. Asman's chest, my trusty tool wouldn't have moved. Andrew remaining on stage is consistent with my calculation. You know this is making your whole stance worse. I'm just saying, Mr. Hairbrain. What? And he wasted wine again. It would seem your illusion has been shattered. Clearly, we should hear the accused's explanation. Or should I say, this brilliant scientist's explanation. Just when I found an inconsistency in the prosecution's argument. Scientists.
Very well. The defendant will testify again. Provide us with a scientific explanation as why inconsistency asserted in events fails to hold.
In the name of Apollo, I will, my lord. To be clear, I'm still at the stage of gathering data in my research. My hypothesis states that the kinesis cannot transport metal, though. Hence, the metal weapon would have stayed put. In other words, the point just raised by Mr. Naruhodo isn't any inconsistency at all. Mr. Asman was the patron of my research. Without him, my work wouldn't have been possible. Now I have the duty to protect the incredible machine that we built together.
So your thrust your testimony, Professor, is
That based upon this hypothesis, metal objects cannot be moved by this method of instantaneous kinesis.
in other words,
In other words, since the screwdriver is made of metal, even if it remained large in the victim's chest. Its subsequent discovery on stage, despite being found elsewhere, is not inconsistency.
and therefore,
Does it really have to spell out for you, Mr. Judge?
and therefore Professor Albert Hellbrain could still be the killer.
My great hypothesis holds, you see. We had to make the cage used to contain the subject from wood for that very reason.
I was not addressing you. Where's this?
Professor Hairbrain. Yes? Whose side are you on here? I don't take sides, Mr. Naruto. No. My only interest lies in upholding my hypothesis. I'm a scientist after all. Yes, but your life is on the line. Is he working for us or against us? It's very hard to tell. Let's see how you cross-examine this testimony, my Nipponese friend. Yes, fire away, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm gonna go a little bit quicker with a lot of these just because it's getting late and we did go on a lot of different tangents and I didn't go continue, so this is on my end. Sorry to those who may be watching this. There's a lot of chit chats. Probably I should make it so that if we're chatting I should just probably read. What the names of idols and what place in bed. Oh, bye.
Hold it!
You know, with hypothesis, you still have other people to do the calculations to help do it right, too. See obtusa. Oh my god, he has a tiny... Is that a book or a card? Why do they make scientists so hard to eat? Like, they make them, like, really poor. Because they really want them to struggle for their work. An engineer. Interesting.
Hold it!
Hey Justin, I have a question. Are you there? Oh, he may have fallen asleep. What? I forgot about that. Oh, I suppose left on the keep safe. Excellent. Oh, never. One thing I'm curious about is this. Yeah, there's something on him that I knew that was a weird one. Professor Hairbrain, you say that according to your hypothesis, nothing made of metal can be beamed by instantaneous kinesis using the machine you made. Is that right? Yes, that's right. Spot on. Exactly correct. In that case, I'd ask you to have a look at this photograph that was taken at the scene. In particular, I'd like you to pay attention to the victim's face. You can clearly see Mr. Asman is wearing a pair of spectacles with a metal rim. What? Metal? No! Metal can't! That's not... Metal... No! We've already established that the proposed murder weapon, the screwdriver, was found on the stage. However, if your hypothesis correctly predicted that outcome, it should have predicted that the metal rim spectacles would be found in the same place. Oh, my hypothesis! I just wanted to say that for a while.
Order. Counsel, what is the implication of this?
If on the day in question the alleged instantaneous kinesis never actually took place, then it's entirely possible that the victim was killed somewhere other than on the stage. And in that case, someone other than the defendant could have been the culprit. But my hypothesis is sound! I proved it that day! The experiment was a success! The experiment proved all my work!
If you could say, if I could just hear incapacity as a fellow of the Royal Society. Yes, Mr. Number 4, go ahead. As a man of science, there's one thing I simply cannot abide. And that's a fraud who pretends to be a fellow man of science.
What? Wait! Great Scott! Oh, you're suggesting my science is suspect.
It's just been disproved, hasn't it? In front of all of us. In other words, the whole demonstration was a complete nonsense from start to finish.
Did his hand go through the stage?
Believe me, my Charles, when I tell you that this man is a heel and a bounder and a fraud.
I say, the records... when did he get the newspaper?
Record of that machine should be stripped down and thoroughly examined.
No, never. The machine is the essence of my entire hypothesis. It's protected by the special dispensation of our Scientific Equipment Act.
The devil is blasted. The devil is blasted.
Well, I don't know that phrase.
Who made up a death rule?
Don't like the way this seems to be going. What's the best way for me to help the professor? Well, I have to always raise the objection. Professor Harebrain has yet to perfect his invention. That would seem to be the case, yes? But even so what? Going to such trouble and expense to create a fake machine to display on the public, he would have absolutely no reason to do such a thing.
Objection.
He had an obvious reason to do exactly that. For the research grant money. What?
If the government was foolish enough to deem the man's ridiculous notion plausible, he and his conspirators will receive a handsome sum indeed.
Conspirators? That would be a value of... What would be a value of such a grant? 10 pounds?
You are an order of magnitude out, madam. 500 pounds a year.
Oh yeah, could live on that much for years.
Society's noticed an increase in bogus public demonstrations in the field of science recently, and plenty of scientists arguing with each other to get the largest slice of the funding cake. People's greed is plenty, motive enough for murder, I assure you.
No, I haven't deceived anyone. At least of all, the government. My hypothesis doesn't sound. The science is sound. Please, you must believe me.
Objection.
No matter how unbelievable this hypothesis may seem to you, ladies and gentlemen, the fact that remains the victim was transported instantly to the crystal towel. Which means that experiment was a success. Baroque. And therefore, the only person who could possibly have committed this murder is the accused. Baroque. Where is this heading? I have no idea. My lord, if I may.
Yes, my Lord Van Zieks.
The prosecution would like to summon new witnesses to the stand.
New witnesses? That would say, but what would be the nature of their involvement?
They were spectators of the demonstration at the exhibition who were occupying special seats. Eyewitnesses.
Very well. The court grants the prosecution's request. I should very much like to hear eyewitnesses to the incident.
Prosecutor's stance is clear. This experiment was no postish. The accused killer, the financier victim, there are the accused killer killed the financier victim there on public stage before the very eyes of spectators. Now, may my learned friend. Oh, yes? It's time for you to make your own stance clear. There's clearly a flaw in the professor's hypothesis. I can definitely see that. But where does that leave me?
We shall take a short recess now, during which time the prosecution will prepare its new witnesses to take a stand.
As you wish, my lord.
Good. In case, we're going to adjourn for 20 minutes.
I know it is late. We've been playing this for like 2.5 hours, but again, a good chunk of that hour, hour and a half was us tangenting so much. So I will give a heads up. I did do a quick peek at the next part and does look short like this one. So what I will do to make up the time for, because this is going to be a very long cut. Yeah, I'm just gonna continue on and let this go. We're gonna try to finish this part again. The faster we can finish up the Great Ace Attorney, the better, because it's a long game, and I do want this to be done relatively soon-ish. So I'm just gonna go read fast these. Maybe I'm just gonna skip reading on a lot of these kind of things. So again, it's getting late. I don't want to stay up too late. Mr. Naruto. Especially I'm out of water right now. Yeah. What on earth were you playing just now? Or rather, what on earth were you playing it all along? My hypothesis, my amazing hypothesis. You've been picking holes in it from the start. Ah, sorry about that. But you promised me. You said you'd prove that the dread explosion was an accident, not a murder. You said to keep my precious invention from falling out of existence. What have you done so far as try to undermine me? I mean, technically speaking, he's still doing that, but he never said to protect your status or hypothesis. Yes, I did make you a promise. You're right. I said that I believe in you and fight for your freedom to the very end. But I also told you I was no scientist. I don't understand your hypothesis. The fact is, there's undeniable flaw in your logic, isn't there? But I just ran through some equations. Yes, you see, because my work is incomplete. Perhaps it is. Nevertheless, a man died as a consequence, didn't he? Oh. Oh no! You're right, you're so right. It's all my fault. And I have no right to blame you for my failures. I'm a disaster. Not just a scientist, but as a human being. Well, that might be a little over the top. And while we're on the subject, what about Baroque? He's being awful. Claiming his old university friend to be a murderer, you mean? He's a disaster, not just a prosecutor, but as a human being. Oh, but no, wait, he's a Reaper, isn't he? Perhaps he's not classified as Homo sapiens anymore. Glad that's cleared up. Can I double check something with you? Oh, yes, what? The machine and demonstration you prepared, they were based entirely on your hypothesis, I presume. There was no trickery involved? I drew the plans for the machine with my very own hands. Every line was painstakingly drawn with the firm belief that science is only future. So yes, it's true that my hypothesis hasn't reached maturity yet, but please, Mr. Naruto, you must believe in it. All right, Professor, I understand.
Defendant. The prosecution witnesses are ready to take the stand. Court is about to be in session again. Make your way to the courtroom, please.
Yeah, I'm gonna read these quick. And we're gonna see how long this takes. If I read them quick, maybe I can get through this a little bit faster. All hinges on that demonstration. If the professor's hypothesis is sound as he claims, it leaves him as the only person who could possibly have killed the victim. But on the other hand, Mr. Sholmes was adamant. A practical implementation, such as an attempted by the professor of the great exhibition, is quite impossible. So really, what should I be trying to prove here? It's 11 o'clock, so that means it took 2 hours for that whole court case. So it's about how long I took for this. Because it's like 20-minute recess and stuff. That's funny.
In the name of the Master, I hereby reconvene the proceedings of this court.
Counsel for defense and prosecution, are you ready for witnesses to testify? The prosecution is ready, my lord. As is defense, my lord.
So, Vengeance. I believe these ex-witnesses saw the demonstration on the day question of their own eyes.
Indeed, they did. And as luck would have it, one of them is a police detective. So the testimony we're about to hear can only consider it highly reliable. Perfect detective of all people. Prosecution. Is that a sarcasm or is that good? Most likely sarcasm. The prosecution stance remains unchanged, though it ended in tragedy. The demonstration on the day in question was scientifically sound. And consequently, the sole person with the opportunity to have committed this act of murder is the only other individual to have been present on the stage at the time, the accused.
Thank you, counsel. The prosecution decision is clear. So I'll bring forward your witness now.
Bailiff, show the witness in. The witness whose proximity in the instant to the day in question will clarify the truth unequivocally. Which one is the detective? Witnesses, state your name and occupations for the court to hear. I turn into an AI, Von Zeeks. Von Zeeks is an AI. My name is Balthazar. Balthazar? Is that a common name? Balthazar Loon? Huh. I am the impresario of all hot air balloons in the vicinity of the experimental stage. Holy German! My name is Wilhelm Gottfried Sigismund Ormstein. Okay. You know what? I should have saved this till next time. Otherwise, Janine would have seen this. I have come to see a great exhibition all the way from my home in Bohemia. Is Bohemia in German? I might be wrong. It is Germans. I honestly did not know where it was. I'm not good at geography. Also, why do you have a bandage on your head? I'm very rich. Inspector Jean Lestrade, Scotland Yard. I'm a great detective. Even Erlach Sean agrees. I was on security duty on the at the expedition. I got to go up in one of them balloons. It was amazing. Gina again. But she did. Oh, keep whacking my mic. She did mention that disaster from the balloon. She'd seen the disaster from the balloon, didn't she? And she clearly loved every minute of it. I forgot Gina was a detective. There were 3 balloons flying near the public experimentation stage when the incident occurred. 2 of these witnesses were in one such balloon at the time and saw the events unfold from the skies above. You make it sound like they were in the clouds. It was only an altitude of circa 60 feet. Very low. Well, you can't see nothing if you fly too high. Can't ya? Can ya? 60 feet, about 18 meters then.
Thank you for your introductions. Now will you give your former testimony to court? Kindly describe what you witnessed, especially those of you who had a vantage point above the stage.
It was an incident terrible. I am only grateful that my balloons were not damaged. There is this huge bang from the stage, and then next second, another bang in the sky beside us. And from amid the smoke, a cage appeared out of nowhere. The cage, it fell from the sky like a stone and crashed into the crystal tower. It didn't get a good look inside the cage, but no one went near it after it crashed into the tower.
Oh, most extraordinary collective account, I must say.
Could I clarify something? There's a detail. Oh. There's a detail in the witness testimony that I've not heard any mention of until now. Specifically, that there were 2 explosions? More precisely, 2 explosions in 2 separate places, yes. When the demonstration began, the balloon carrying the 2 witnesses was around here. There were other balloons nearby at the time carrying other passengers as well, to be clear. Then, as the power was supplied to the machine from the demonstration, the first explosion occurred. And the so-called bird cage that contained the victim disappeared from the stage, and a moment later, the second explosion occurred directly adjacent to the balloon carrying the witnesses. The bird cage appeared on site of the explosion, subsequently to plummet down to into the crystal tower. I was very surprised. Suddenly a cage appeared before my eyes with a person inside. The blast was so hot, I didn't want to miss a thing. So I kept my eyes wide. Oh yeah, I kept my eyes wide. I can't do it right. Still have lots of money.
Precisely, who is this curious infant?
I'm told he is a young noble of the Bohemian royalty. Apparently, he disguised himself in order to steal, to steal unnoticed. Wait, he disguised himself in order to steal unnoticed into the Great Expedition. Is that proper English? I guess. I don't know. Future Justin, figure it out. Yeah. Wait. Oh yeah. I'm here in London on a sightseeing trip with my elementary school. We will have the benefit of the child's point of view in the testimony. We really need that. Holy crap, he has beautiful eyes. When I remove my mask, this is what I look like. Oh yes, I see. Delightful face, I'm sure. Yeah, everyone says so. Great disguise, then. The point is, the testimony of these witnesses further substantiates the facts of the court, namely that by ending an explosion, instantaneous kinesis was successfully demonstrated, and furthermore, that until the arrival of the police, no one approached the crystal tower where the victim fell. Therefore, only the accused, who was with Mr. Asman on stage, could possibly have committed the murder.
Yes, thank you, Counsel. The prosecution views on matter are quite clear. So, the defense cross-examination now, please.
Yes, my lord. Alright, let's go with this. £10? It's pretty expensive. many skies, they would crash into each other. That's just true. Oh, he has a fire in his hat, or at least what looks like a fire. That's dangerous. Okay, let's see.
That's Peter.
I'm gonna continue on just to see what else the dialogues are, because I'm always curious what these dialogues are. I know I said I would go a little quickly, but I also want to see what other these dialogues are. Okay, so okay, so we're gonna fast forward this a little bit. Pressing B helps fast forward.
That's Peter.
Excuse me.
Our Master Gods, does your memory of the day differ? My teacher at elementary school said that when you meet someone for the first time, you should always use their full name. Yes, what was it again? Wilhelm Gottfried Sigismund Ormstein. Just the four names then. The point is, do you have something to say? Something to add in response to Detective Gina Lestrade's last remark, perhaps? Oi, get it right, Odo. It's Inspector Lestrade. Why does everyone have the problem with how I address them at the moment? That is not what I saw. Oh? Yeah. There was a second explosion and it was right beside our balloon. That is true. But I'm sure. Which is it? which is what I said in it. 1 minute there is nothing. The next massive explosion. Explosion. My teacher at elementary school said that when someone else is speaking, if you are rude enough to interrupt, you will have the most awful life unmanageable. Are our bohemians brought up to be so full of joy? He has infinite balloons. Just before the second explosion happened, happened next to our balloon, I clearly witnessed a green balloon flying in the sky. A green balloon? Oh, you what? I never saw nothing like that. Well, I did. I saw it, and you can't say I didn't. I will complain the council. I will cry and scream. My testimony is the truth. I am Bohemian Prince. You can't say it's a lie. That is not allowed. Tisk. Playing the bleeding royalty card, are ya? Typical. Just the orphan who likes to remind people she works with Her Majesty's police.
In that case, our man is amended from a testimony in relation to Great Britain and Bohemia.
Hold it!
Who's the what-to-be German hero? Making me boring. Yes, English is very annoying. It's logical. Madai! I will have the army come and shoot all your stupid balloons out of the sky. All of them. But he's still nice enough to give a balloon after threatening.
Objection!
Okay, so it's not that. That's clearly a balloon.
Hold it!
Oh, wait, I didn't mean to press. I pressed. Why does he have a bandage on his head?
Objection!
Okay, so it's not that. with the 2 balloons.
Hold it!
Oh my god, lost cat. Hmm. I was thinking of doing that. It has to be the green cloth. Like, it cannot be not the green cloth because none of the other stuff makes sense. I thought it was a third statement, but it might. Yeah.
Objection!
This would only make sense because it has to be green cloth. Mr. Loon, in your testimony, you said that all 3 balloons you had operating at the time were undamaged. See, that is correct. If they had been caught in the explosions, it would have been terrible. Terrible. I wonder if you might know what this is. I think that may be... See, part of a balloon, a burnt piece of the fabric of the envelope. Sorry, the envelope? Pardon, that is the large round part of the balloon which becomes filled with hot air. It's made of very thick fabric lined with rubber. You do not want to rip when you are in the sky. It makes sense why his statement. I think it's just because this is so different because it usually is on the news statement. So it's kind of like a twist thrown at you after so long of playing this game that they decided to throw a curveball. Kind of a weird place to put it, honestly. I wish they did it like different time, but I guess, just as I thought. This is piece of cloth was found near the experimental stage. In other words, as Master Gotts testified, a green balloon did indeed explode that day. If all the balloons in the sky above the experimentation stage belong to you, Mr. Loon, then your statement that they were all undamaged clearly contradicts the evidence. No. If the balloon exploded that day, why didn't the man say so? If everyone on board was killed, oh no, having just a player of 10 pounds for experience is awful. It seems the crazy at the present time anyway. Instantaneous keenness did occur, but after the explosion on the stage, the point of materialization shifted to the location occupied by the balloon.
Causing the balloon to explode. Yes, immediately plausible.
Unfortunate traffic accident, as it were, but it changes nothing about the pertinent facts. Hold. This I cannot accept. Why not, Mr. Loon? You are suggesting that I am a liar? The person died in a balloon incidente? There's no need to get fired up, Mr. Loon. The victim was the sole fatality that day. That's right, and I proved it. But the odds are Loon is not a liar. There's no such balloon in the sky. It's non possibly. You're saying it's impossible. Why? This court has more important matters to discuss than the number of balloons that were operating that day.
Objection.
But we can't ignore the fact that nobody appears to have known anything about this other balloon until now. My lord, the defense calls first testimony from Mr. Loon. I could
Sure, there's clearly more to the truth than here meets the eye. I'm Optimus Prime. It's imperative that we clear up the issue of the Phantom Balloon, I feel. This you give us a permission testimony and operating another exposition.
Ay, grazie, my lord. As I said, Balthazar Loon is no liar. Though every balloon I had in the sky landed safely. All three of my balloons were carrying passengers. If they fell to the ground in explosion, what a catastrophe! You can't get away from back to burnt up the old crease with kind of scene, can ya? The couples at the yard reckoned it was probably some debris thrown in an explosion on stage. That's a stupid ragazzo is mistaken. My balloons have red, blue, zigzag stripes anyway. I'm wrong for you. See, exactamente. If we even saw a balloon in the first place, I do not like the sound of it. It's very bad for business. I have a mind to sue land of Bohemia. If you attack us, they will fight back. It will be war. Out war. And they're back on good terms. What happened to all-out war? Mr. Loon certainly doesn't appear to be lying, but what doesn't change the fact that the testimony and evidence are contradictory here. If the defense is unable to find fault with the witnesses' statements, the court must consider the truth. Consider them the truth. Think long and hard on that, my friend. There's just chilly changing now. I have a grade at the bottom here, no matter what it takes. So you can cross-examine witness. Oh, let's go.
Hold it.
Couldn't forgot one. That's really hard to forget a giant balloon. I was gonna say. So she can't count that high.
Hold it.
Oh, so he's Italian. I always thought he was French. But then again, that makes sense. Magic gas. You don't let them... You can't let them smoke.
Hold it!
Got everything. Balloon sunlight is evacuated. I am being very silent because I'm reading this all in my head.
Hold it!
Not injured. Wait, what? Ah. Oh, he's gonna threaten him with a decrease in pay.
Hold it!
Oh man, this whole conjecture thing. Alright, let's go all the way to the moment.
Hold it!
And fast forward because he insulted. Oh, right, I have to press on him.
Excuse me.
It's something. Master Gotts. It's Master Wilhelm Gotthric Sigmund Olsten. It was on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, something is very wrong. I know what I saw. There was a green balloon there. I swear it. I swear. Oh, Bohemia. You can speak as much bad language as you like. It changes nothing. If you do not have evidence, Ragazzo, then I must tell your parents to punish you, eh? Perhaps we'll let the judge decide when it comes to punishments. Evidence? What is this evidence?
To give him, for example, young man, a photograph, for instance, such some tangible proof of what you claim.
Well, why didn't you say so sooner? I have the photograph here.
Good gracious!
What? I had not been in the balloon for a while, so I was very excited. I took lots and lots of photographs of the Crystal Tower, of the Bohemian exhibit, of the streets of London, of the hot eel cellar, the balloon. And the instantaneous kinesis experience, did you take a picture of that? Yeah, one picture. Really? You did take one? But all I wanted was a ride on a balloon. I was not interested in boring experiments. Never mind that. Can you show us that photograph? Of course. And when you will see that I was not lying, that I really did see a green balloon. Well, I see you are all too shocked to speak.
Yes, well, I think shocked is indeed a word, young man.
Yeah, perhaps you cannot see that it was a green balloon from this photograph bot. But is not my fault. That is the fault of the stupid person who made the camera. Wah. Is that German wah? That's like a German crying wah. That is one very bohemian sounding cry. Wah, wah.
Very well, the court will accept this photograph as evidence.
That's the court record. It's not my fault. It's the fault of the person who made the camera. Well, shouldn't have been born too early. Interesting. Naruhodo ne. Wait. Who's that person? Well, never mind. I'm sure you have plenty of one of our superior memories to take home with you. In any case, when exactly did you take that photograph? Well, it was on the day of the very big explosion. You don't say. When I was pressured the shutter release, there was this very loud bang. And a hot wind burst over my face. That means this photograph was taken a split second before the explosion occurred. Well, if you ask me, this black and white photograph changes nothing. I could not give a flying fig. Lovely language you've picked up. There is something odd about this photograph that I want to point out to you.
Objection.
Ah, it's not that.
Objection.
Unfortunately, the photograph master Gods took can't tell us the color of the balloon, but it can tell us something else, something crucially important. What? Oh, when did you become German? It shows that the picture balloon wasn't carrying any passengers.
What? Oh my goodness, you're right. But surely all the balloons would have been carrying passengers. There would be no sense in it otherwise.
See, they are for pleasure. Phrasing. See, for review, my balloons only fly with passengers. Which tell us that the picture balloon isn't one of them. So when the incident occurred that day, there was a fourth balloon in the sky above the experimentation stage. The mysterious green balloon. I know nothing, niente. I can only tell you one thing. If this balloon was not carrying a passenger, then it was not one of mine.
Objection!
There are illegal tradesmen everywhere. You care to look. Clearly, one such opportunity decided to capitalize on the opportunity presented by the Great Exhibition and managed to operate the balloon flights on Mr. Loon's patch without him realizing. See, the cat is on, trying to steal my profits. I did not notice because of the experimento that went wrong in the stage. This fourth balloon exploded at the same moment as Mr. Amson was beamed from the stage below. Right. From the scraps that fell to the ground after and left them scorch marks, they didn't come from the stage at all. It was bits of the balloon running down. Because no one was in it, it didn't get any attention. Mysterious fourth balloon carrying no passengers, silently floating over the experimentation stage.
Objection!
This photograph shows us nothing more. A stray balloon carrying no one and operated by some rogue trader clearly has nothing to do with the case.
Interested news be, I must say.
The court has seen sufficient evidence and heard ample testimony already. The prosecution calls for this trial to be concluded. Someone's reading the paper, eating corn. You're the only one thinking, really? Have we really got to the truth yet? No. Can't let this opportunity slip away. The jurors' minds are made up and not in our favor. What else in this photo can tell us? What we can learn more from learning with it?
Objection.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, wait. Please don't give your decisions yet. Photograph from Master Gotts may well be hiding one more vital clue. What's that? Holy crap, why are you so close to the screen? Why are you so close to the screen? That is actually really freaky. Imagine this in like 3D. A vital clue. We are well past the point of mere possibilities. It's time for the definitives now, so tell the court. What exactly does the alleged clue in the photograph prove? We can reasonably assume that the picture balloon was destroyed in the searing heat of the explosion. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was not my fault. Evidently, because the bird case from the kinesis machine materialized in the sky where it had been flying. And the balloon being filled with flammable hydrogen instantly and explosively ignited. No, that's not what happened. What?
It would appear that for requires closer examination. Counsel for defense, you highlight the location of the alleged clue photograph in the report.
Of course, my lord. If you look closely, it's plain enough to see, and what's shown is linked to another piece of evidence we have. In a way, that leads to an unbelievable conclusion. Heavily suggests the real reason the plot was... Hope that the hitbox of this is really good. The timing of this photograph can only be described as miraculous. If you look, you'll notice that there's a bright white line that appears to point directly at the balloon. Most likely a ray of light caught incidentally on the film.
I'm afraid I can't see nothing of that sort.
If you look closely with a magnifying glass, my lord, it becomes clear what the nature of the bright line really is. Before they do, nothing in there.
Goodness, what is that? Undeniably some flash of light, yes.
Oh golly, do you think it might be lighting?
Oh, but it could have been a fire. It couldn't have been a finer day.
I believe we may be looking at a fire.
The bull. We're heading right straight to the balloon like that on the hetero. Indeed, even in my aging eyes, there would appear to be some flame of some sort. My word, are you suggesting this flame struck the hydrogen gas that filled the balloon?
That's absurd. The balloon would have been 60 feet above the ground at the time. No flame could possibly have reached such height. Actually, it's my opinion that a particular piece of evidence I found at the scene reveals how that is exactly what did happen. What evidence?
If such evidence exists, Counselor, then goodness sake, present it, man. Evidence explains this mysterious trick. Appears to have headed directly for the balloon.
It's my armband! This was found hidden at the foot of a small ornamental tree near the scene.
Good lord, is that the crossbow?
Arrow dipped in oil and set alight could have been shot from this arrow, sending a flame arrow straight into the hydrogen-filled balloon. Are you suggesting that the crossbow was used deliberately? Blimey, you're right. That stick of light in the photo looks just like an arrow, doesn't it? And the explosion for the balloon, it was very likely the result of a flaming arrow from this crossbow igniting the hydrogen gas inside. Oh, his balloons is a blue and red, and it was green.
Counsel, this is an extraordinary supposition.
If the aim was to cause the balloon to explode, the shooter could have used a gun, of course. However, there was an obvious reason why that would have been out of the question. The noise of the discharge, of course. That's right. By using a crossbow, the projectile could be fired at the balloon silently. But yeah, if someone had shot a gun off in the exposition garage, it would have caused a real panic. But with the big explosion, there was a very big panic anyway, no? I don't like this. Should be pleased to be found a plausible new explanation for all this, but something feels wrong. Objection! Do you understand the implication of what you're saying, my Nipponese friend? If a flaming arrow did indeed hit the balloon, then obviously it would have exploded. And if the birdcage appeared from the cloud of smoke that ensued. What? Wait a minute. What are you really saying here? I don't get it. Was the birdcage beamed up into the sky after all, or what?
My goodness me.
Ah, now I understand. That's what that sinking feeling is about. I think there's a good chance that the birdcage was actually concealed inside the balloon all along.
Whoa. Did I just hear that correctly, Counsel?
There's no going back now. The horse has bolted. Let's assume, as I said, that the birdcage was hidden inside the green balloon from the start. On stage, when the experiment was started, the birdcage in the instantaneous kinesis machine disappeared in a smoke. At that moment, the flaming arrow was fired from the ground, causing the green balloon to explode and drawing attention of the spectators to the sky above their heads. From the middle of the smoke, the hidden birdcage then appeared to fall down and crash into the crystal tower. I think you'll all agree it's entirely plausible that what I've just described is the real truth behind the miraculous experiment carried out that day.
Oh, good grief!
Objection.
It's ludicrous. What you've described is no science experiment. It's child's play, a contemptible display of stage magic. Both Mr. Sholmes and Iris said that the experiment was scientific impossibility. In which case, this is the only way to explain what happened that day. And in any case, the victim's body was found inside the birdcage in the crystal tower. If the instantaneous kinesis didn't take place, how do you explain that? If I may put in the word as a man of magic myself, such appropriate discrepancies can easily be explained by some simple deception. Juror number 3? All that would be needed is a doppelganger, someone who looked very similar to the victim, Mr. Asman, and having this other man appear on stage to front the show as a body double. Yes, of course. So in fact, Mr. Asman must have been inside the birdcage that was concealed inside the balloon right from the start.
Objection.
That balloon would have been filled with hydrogen. Anything hidden inside would have been scattered to the four winds when it exploded. No one would ever embark on such a risky adventure.
Not necessarily. The explosion force of the balloon gas would have very much depended on the mixture ratio.
Juror number 4.
Flying balloons are rarely filled with pure hydrogen, but a mixture of other gases such as helium as well. Helium on its own doesn't explode, but by controlling the gas mixture ratio, explosive force can be altered.
The mixture ratio.
Obviously, the victim's body would have suffered some burns, but that would be unavoidable. But not to an extent that's to render this whole obscene charade impossible.
So everything that happened can be explained, logically and scientifically. The explosion that engulfed the stage at the start of the experiment was no accident. It was all part of an elaborate deception to make it appear that instantaneous kinesis had occurred.
Well, goodness me.
And if we accept that this is what happened, it means that the victim, Mr. Asman, was never present on the public experimentation stage to begin with. Yeah, he was wearing white, and the guy in the picture was not wearing white. Clearly, the guy was not white. You can put that as out of context quote, guys. In short, he couldn't have been killed by the defendant, who was on stage in full view the entire time. Well, he did protect him, but now there's an ultimate question. Who did the killing? And also, if this is the truth, that means his true hypothesis and the kinesis machine were really just frauds. This will be very hard for the prosecution to counter. Lord Von Zieks can't credibly maintain that Professor Harebrain is a Professor Harebrain is a suspect now. Mr. Naruhodo, I appreciate your efforts. Thank you. Professor? But you can stop now. Just keep your mouth shut, please. Sorry? What's all this about, Mr. Harebrain? I, Albert Harebrain, hereby confess that it was me. That it was me who stabbed Mr. Audie Osman. Yes, it was me, with my faithful friend and partner, Andrew the Screwdriver. What are you doing?
Order, order, order. Defendant, explain this on confession.
Objection.
Professor Harebrained, what are you talking about? It's what I've said all along. I must protect my hypothesis, my precious machine. You stand there and claim it was all a trick, an elaborate prank, but where's your proof? Honestly, this is just making me hate his whole objective on the hypothesis. True scientists stand by hypothesis, but when it becomes doubtful, you have to prove it more, or otherwise it's highly doubtful. And you also shouldn't do it by yourself. This guy is nothing more than just an exaggerated individual with a big ego. I wouldn't say big ego, no, but he's just way too like upholding on his like hypothesis, which is very loose. Anyway, this has come from an actual scientist too. You'd have to be examined the machine if you want to prove it, but then it would be all over. The beautiful hypothesis would be laid bare. I mean, the indigeneity of it. It's clear that you drew the plans for the experiment, but you didn't actually build it. It's quite conceivable that you were... Baruch. Dude, Professor, you just let me... I can prove... Baruch, yes. I cooperate. I'll do whatever you say. I swear it. So please, ensure that the special dispensation of our Scientific Equipment Act is adhered to protect my protect my accreditation. Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hollow chalice this critical juncture. Here's to my learned Nipponese friend. What? And this his upcoming attempt to clarify the defense's position in light of the accused's confession. Do you intend to formally assert that the experiment was nothing more than a conjuring trick? Because the moment you do, the special dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act that protects the professor's invention will cease to apply. The prosecution will then demand a rigorous examination of the machinery involved in order to establish the truth. So that's why he protected it. Still stupid though. However, if you acknowledge that the machine is genuine and instrumental to the victim's murder, any chance of investigating will be crushed and the confidentiality of the professor's hypothesis preserved. So he's giving him the ultimate choice. Go with one truth or explore another. Because he promised the professor. He promised that he will protect him. But he never said he will protect the hypothesis. This is the ultimate truth.
Well, counsel, what is the defense's official position on this matter?
What Professor Harebrained, my client, actually asked of me was to prove that the explosion on the stage was an accident and protect the secrecy of his hypothesis. But there's no way to do that without implying the professor's guilt. Do I protect the client's life by asserting his innocence, or do I uphold my client's request but see him condemned? Either way, can't avoid betraying his trust. You've been silent long enough. Isn't talking your trade, my learned friend? Or has all knowledge of English escaped your confused Nipponese mind? Mr. Naruhodo? There's no escaping here. There's no escape here. I have to make a choice. But it's an impossible one. I have to give up on something, but what? The fence asserts the instantaneous kinesis machine is in fact... No, I can't say it. My client's placed his faith in me. Can't just let him down. What must I give up on? It's not the question you have have to ask yourself here. It's what can I protect? Hello again, Mr. Naruto. It's been far too long. You know, I was wondering when she would appear. Like, actually, legitimately, I was wondering when she would appear.
Yeah.
To be honest, Justin, I was just like, when she was like, oh, she's not here anymore. I was like, when in this case she's gonna actually appear? So, it's about time. He took you long. Slow cakes. Susato-san! But what are you? Hi! Oh. Would you really do that at such a critical point in time? Also, you threw me at the fire top. Isn't it dangerous? My first Susato takedown in 6 months! There will be a time for talk later, Mr. Naruto. For now, we must concentrate on the task at hand. Which is working out not what I have to give up on, but what I can protect. Professor Hairbrain. Yes? Yesterday you told me that science is the pursuit of truth. Well, my job is to pursue the truth too. Yes, of course. And personally, I believe that you didn't stab Mr. Ansem. I think you've come to realize something yourself too, haven't you? That your experiment and the machine you built with the victim are questionable. The truth behind is what we must both pursue now. Ah! My leg! So, you finally opened your eyes. What? And as for you, Albert, you can't ignore this any longer. Having heard my learned friend's assertion, don't you have something to say? Baroque. Lord Von Zeeks. Gosh. Gorsh. I've never heard him speak that way before. In truth, there is one thing. Something I've remembered that's of relevance. What? On the day it happened, just before I began the experiment, I saw a man near the stage. A man holding that crossbow.
Beg your pardon?
Professor! Did the man have any distinguishing features? What did he look like? Tall. Taller than me. And, thinner than me. With straight hair. Straighter and whiter than me. Ah. So he's a flat, straight man. No, he's a tall, flat, straight white man. He can't be an NBA player. Let me see. One less lens on me, too. A monocle. A rather stylish black monocle. But one thing in particular will help to positively identify the man. You see, I know him very well. After all, he's the engineer who built my invention. What? He built the machine? He did say a third man built the machine, and I was already suspicious of that. That's right. Mr. Asman introduced me to me a year ago. He's a man by the name of Enoch Drebber. Or ED for short. Ed. My god, that is creepy. Why do you have to keep going into the face like that? Why does that guy have to do that? That's like creepy. That's like nightmare fuel.
Enoch Drebber? Does that mean name something? Remember the juror seemed flustered.
Not the name any scientist wishes to hear. The man's an abomination.
And the man, not a name any conjurer wishes to hear either. Who on earth is he?
I'm afraid this isn't the first tale of this nature that I've heard in scientific circles in connection with that name. There's talk of flamboyant experiments that turn out to be nothing but state trickery in the end. Obviously, the rascals after government research grant money.
Then the magicians are in. When the magicians are in money, I have heard of them resorting to these underhand tactics. Some acquaintances of mine with experience of such things have mentioned Enoch Drebber's name before.
The man is both an engineer and a magician. Yes, we're both dealing with an unparalleled confidence trickster here. There's Enoch Drebber for you.
Done. Oh my god, his head turned into a pumpkin. Now he turns to a white floof. What'd you say, Justin?
No, I was just doing the dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. So it's true then. My invention, my great machine was just a great grand illusion. Considering that what we've just heard about Mr. Drebber's character, I'm sorry to say that sounds increasingly likely. Even though no one else believed it, I wanted to. I wanted to believe that machine would function exactly as my hypothesis predicted. You believed in one thing, but that doesn't mean that the other guy believed in another thing. Technically speaking, his hypothesis still could be correct. It's just at this current time is not proved likely. That's all it is doing right now. I just wanted to say to him as to build his confidence. Which is why you were opposed to it being investigated, I presume. I knew that if the machine was examined in detail, its construction would give away my hypothesis. Obviously, I didn't want that to happen. But at the same time, I knew that if it was found to be nothing more than a trick, then a work of deception, then everything I've worked towards, all of my research, all of my dreams, my whole life would be over. I was terrified of the prospect. So you really had no idea then, did you? About the true nature of the machine that was built, and the true nature of Mr. Drebber. I never questioned anything. I didn't want to question it. It's true that people fear the face of failure / something that they don't like to hear. I hear that. They do that all the time. It's entirely possible that Mr. Asman and Mr. Drebber were working together to use you as a means of fraudulently acquiring the research grant money. See, he's wearing a white suit and the guy wasn't. That guy clearly is the proper white. That guy's white. When I announced my invention to the crowds that day, it was the finest moment of my career. I pulled all the levels and turned all the dials in exactly the way Drebber had described. Ah, see, that's the wrong thing of scientists. They should know exactly how they made it, and everyone else knows how it should be built. When the smoke suddenly started billowing out, I panicked. I didn't know what was happening. But I really don't know how the whole illusion was made to work. I don't know anything anymore. Let me confirm one final point with you, Professor. Do you now consent to the prosecution submitting the necessary paperwork to release your invention from the protection afforded by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act? God dang it, that word is weird. Yes. Please go ahead. I'm very sorry.
It would appear we shall have to suspend proceedings for the remainder of the day now. Lord Von Six,
My lord.
the court has newly been wed. I don't know why I think it was a wedding, but we've been aware from another party whose involvement in this matter is critical.
Yes, Mr. Zerebo.
Gather information about the man if possible. I should like him served with a subpoena.
I don't even know what that word means still. Justin, please.
With pleasure, my lord.
Now, counsel for the defense.
Yes, my lord.
When we reconvene, I shall be looking for one thing and one thing alone from you. Evidence that the defendant is innocent of the crime for which he presently stands accused.
I understand.
Good. In that case, this court is adjourned until tomorrow morning.
Bang. Oh, we still have stuff. I always thought we were just gonna end there. Okay, cool. It's another Hodo. Ah, yes. I'm sorry. I was wrong. You were right. I tricked you. You trusted me. I tricked you. You do my mess. Oh, how did it ever come to this? I'm so sorry. Did you really have no idea, Professor? About what Mr. Trevor was really up to? I mean, about what he was really constructing? Naturally. That machine was the embodiment of my hypothesis, of all my hopes and dreams. I had complete faith in him. Alright, in that case, I won't say anymore. Now, sadly, the murder accusation against you still stands. So we must do things investigation as we can before the trial resumes tomorrow. Well, thank you for doing so much for me. And there's no talk with there is a talk with Susato. I'm so sorry for arriving late this morning, Mr. Naruto. Arriving late? Didn't you receive my postcard? I wanted to let you know when I'd arrive. Postcard? What postcard? I hate it for me, Bruno, so he would be so surprised. Well, did it work? I was surprised, alright, especially when she threw me to the ground. Oh dear, I'm so sorry. I was just happy to see you again. You happy to throw me into a wall. Oh, that's love for you. Sort of slipped out. Maybe we could stick to more traditional displays of motion in the future. Susie's train was late to the London Victoria this morning, you see. But we made the coachman really whip the horses hard, so she didn't miss the whole trial. I was watching the gallery for a while, but in the end, I'm afraid I couldn't contain myself. Well, glad you didn't. Oh, having you at my side in court really gives me strength that I need to win. So, I'm delighted to see you back in London. Oh, you're too kind, Mr. Naruto. I'm delighted to be here. I hope I can continue to be of service to you. Of course. So, what's brought you back? Did Professor Mikotoba not protest? Let's save all the conversation for when we're back at home, shall we? You know, I've made one of my special blends ever for the special occasion. Oh, Iris, how wonderful. Can't wait. Oh, I've been streaming for 8 hours. I want to go to bed now. Susato was back in London. It's hard to describe how happy that made me feel at that time, but despite my elation, our tale was about to take another extraordinary turn. That only took about an hour. Luckily these sections were short. All right. Well, with that, I'm gonna end it off right now because it is very late. I've been streaming for 8 hours. I was intending to go it, but we talked also for like an hour and a half, so...
Yup.
So yeah, this would have been ended probably a lot sooner, but unfortunately went long. So I'm gonna end it off here. I'm gonna go raid. I raided Emden before, so I'm gonna go raid these. Anyway, thank you, Justin, for coming on and playing and staying.
Yeah.
Enjoy the extra hour of sleep and metaphoring, because clearly you're going to use it for metaphors. How close are you being close to beating that game?
According to the in-game encyclopedia Pokedex thingy, I have like 75% of the encyclopedia entries, but realistically, I think I'm either 60% done or like, yeah, I don't know.
I say at very least you're more than halfway, so you're not too far away.
Absolutely more than halfway, yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, one day I'll get the game, but not anytime soon because I need to save money for other things. Anyway, let's just take it easy for now and raid D. He's playing some Valorant, so if you want to go chill out for the rest of the night, there's that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully next time, Jamboree isn't so laggy on Kyle's end. We need to figure that out later. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. I'll see you guys on another stream of mine or someone else's, and stay safe. Have enjoyed a weekend. If you're celebrating daylight savings, that's good. If you're not, well, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day anyway. Have a good morning, afternoon, and evening for you all, and stay safe. All right, have a good night and goodbye.
Have good hitting, nannies. Bye.